Hello, happy Sunday, wherever in the world you are joining us from. It's such a delight to connect with you, to connect heart to heart, soul to soul. As women from all over the globe, we have so much in common, so many areas of joy and accomplishment, and great strides that we've accomplished over the past many decades. Remember, there were times when women couldn't even vote. There were times women couldn't go to work. There were times women couldn't do anything. But now we can. And we've come a long way from the time when all those things were reality for most of our ancestors, our grandmothers, great grandmothers, and more. Today, I want to introduce to you a concept that you may not have quite thought about. You know, many of our ancestors, our great grandmothers and great grandmothers, they were very tough, but they also had to bury a lot. And I just remembered I had not introduced myself. We'll come back to the story. My name is Isioma Iloba, and I'm certified to bring wisdom from a lineage that is 373 person long. That's a lot of wisdom. That's a lot of physical experience. And the wisdom that has been experiences is incredible and impeccable. And I met my teacher in 2009, and he forever changed my life. He has given me so much, and I've been able to understand the underpinnings of human existence, that we all can move forward. Instead of riding the car at 2 miles an hour, we can quantum leap it and run at 150 miles per hour. Why not? We don't have to go the slow way. We can jump through, we can maybe even go through the speed of light. So we can accomplish all the things that we're meant to accomplish in this physical life. And that way, when we die without any regrets. But this is not a teaching about death. That's going to get a little bit testy for some people. The story of our ancestors. The women who lived eons ago, they had to experience incredible hardship, going to the farm, not having freedom to do what they wanted to do. Some wanted to go to school but couldn't because school was only for boys. I remember in my father's era, and that was not too long ago, just one generation ago, all of my dad's sisters could not go to school because there was enough money for only one person, and that was my dad. So the money for school fees was given to my dad. Not quite right, but that's the reality of those days. And the trauma that women had to endure because we were not valued, we were not appreciated, we were not nourished in the same way, created an incredible rift and separation within us. We wanted to belong, we wanted to be part of society that was treasured and appreciated and even uplifted. But no, that didn't happen. So the trauma of the ancestors, what you didn't know that is that the trauma of the ancestors down the lineage, not just the hair that your ancestors had, or the eyes that look like your great grandfather, or the nose that look like your grandmother, or the ears that look like your dad's, or the color that look like neither one of them that you don't remember because most of them had died. But not just the physical traits, but also the mental, emotional, spiritual baggage that they were born with, that they lived through, is a portion of it, not all of it. A portion of it is, I'm sure you've heard of people saying, oh my goodness, he acts just like his great grandfather. His great grandfather was exactly like that. Or if it's a girl, oh my goodness, she bakes just fantastically like her mother, who has transitioned. And maybe the mother transitioned before the young girl was born, but she inherited the goods. She inherited the gift. Well, if someone can inherit the gift, guess what? They also inherit the trauma that is carried, a portion of the trauma that's carried by our ancestors. And so I wanted to bring that to your awareness to let you realize that when that kind of trauma exists in our physical body, something profound happens. A shift occurs. And this shift um, creates further separation, that you don't try to cure. When you have a headache that you don't take care of, what happens? Usually it gets worse and worse and worse. And what was previously a headache range number 2 out of 10, all of a sudden becomes a 5 out of 10. So it is with trauma that is not dealt with appropriately at the root cause, not at the surface level, not at the symptom level. So what happens is that usually there's a separation, not just between the masculine and the feminine, but also between mental, emotional, and spiritual. All of these four begin to go their separate ways, right? And you would find yourself arguing with yourself about what decision you need to take and how you're going to take it and who am I going to date. And all these four parts of you may have a different opinion. If you've ever found yourself in conflict with yourself about what you should do, how you should do it, who should join you, who should not join you, who you're going to cut out, who you're going to give things to, that is the four twins. I'll call them four twins, not just is it quadruplets. These are the four inner quadruplets that you give birth to when trauma occurs. And those four somehow also show up in the masculine and the feminine. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit of biology because I've worked in healthcare for many years. And in biology, the physical body is divided into two. If you ever look at a biology textbook, you would see one part colored red and the other part colored blue. With every organ, every system. That is because one part of you oxygen and the other part is expelling oxygen, nutrients, and things that need to be gotten out of the body. This invisible separation occurs whether you like it or not. It is there no matter what. It is running the system smoothly. Now, what would happen? Tell me, what would happen if one half of you is diseased, is incapacitated, or does not want to function anymore? You just got tired and says, forget it, I'm not doing this no more, I'm out of here. That would seriously compromise your well being and your balanced nature and everything that you hold dear. Your ability to comprehend and function in the would be out the window. The same thing is true when we women try to inhabit the masculine world that we don't belong to and give up our innate power. We surrender blueprint, our authentic, um, yeah, that's all. Yeah, authentic blueprint is the best way I can describe it. We all, every single woman on Mother Earth was born with this blueprint, and we're meant to use this blueprint to accomplish tasks that have been given to us in this lifetime. Because of the separation that took place within us, our heart closed. For many women, the heart is closed. Because of the trauma we experienced, we were scared to open our hearts again. And we said, never again will I trust a man. Never again will I trust a woman who looks like this. Never again will I date a short person. Never again will I date or hang out with somebody who's an alcoholic. Never again. So there are a whole lot of never, 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 nevers. And that closes the heart instead of remaining open. That separation is really at the message to you today. I want you to remember who you were before that trauma showed up the first time in your life. Who were you when you could love without blinking? when you could dance without anybody, without caring if anybody looked at you, when you could giggle and laugh and be your real self without being embarrassed that somebody was going to shame you. Who were you before the boyfriend betrayed your trust and cheated on you with someone else, maybe even with a close friend? Who are you if you're a gay man inhabiting a more feminine body? Who are you before you knew that you were gay, you knew that you were different, but you were afraid to speak, to surrender the inauthentic part of you and take full ownership of who you truly were? Who were you when you could smile, carefree in the world? Who were you? I know I was a little girl when I was like that. Before I knew that my father would have preferred me to be a boy. And I spent the early part of my entire childhood and young adulthood trying to be the boy that I never could be. And no matter how, the frustrating thing is that no matter how much I tried to be the son of the family, because at that time I had very small siblings, I tried to really take that position and just act as the leader in the house and do all the things that the first child is supposed to do. But in doing that, I gained identity and forgot about who I really was. And that created additional. My father not wanting me as a girl was one layer. That just added another one. And all the other stuff that life now added on to get me to recognize what I needed to see. But I wasn't ready. And that is why I want to share this message with you today to get you interested in those blockages, how you can pull them apart block by block to begin to allow the real you to rise to the surface so that you can be happy, you can be fulfilled because you have all the tools that you already. The only thing is that those tools are hidden from you because your heart is not open. It's almost like you have the software loaded onto your hard drive, but you don't have the mouse or the wired connection to be able to access the information in your laptop. I am a physical laptop, and the blueprint is a software that runs everything inside of me. My heartbeat, to the headache, to the digestive system, to the uh, everything, the nerve by this software. You ever wondered what makes a heartbeat? It's a software. The software that God gave you when you were born. Breathed the breath of life into you. So take the wisdom of Solomon. Those of you who are Christian, you know the story, but in case you didn't know the story, I'm going to share it with you now. There were two women in the ancient biblical times who were fighting over who was the authentic mother of this child, of this baby. The baby couldn't talk, he couldn't hold on to the mother. So, to end all conflicts, the two women were brought to King Solomon. And King Solomon was wise beyond words. He was extraordinarily wise. And his wisdom spread throughout the kingdom. And people were coming from all over to come and his wisdom was truly divinely guided. And I love that kind of wisdom. So what happened? He didn't ask who had this child and who had that child because each person will come up with their own story, right? So he now devised a means to elicit the truth from these two women. So he asked the sergeant at arms to bring a knife with which he was going to kill the baby so that the baby can be split into two and each woman would have half of the baby. I said, no, 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 don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. You woman that is claiming that the child is yours, take the baby, take the baby. Don't kill the baby. It's not worth it. No, 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 I don't want the baby to die. In that instant, King Solomon determined that the woman who was willing to give up her baby was the real mother. Because a mother cannot be alive while her baby is dying. That was a simple solution. Bring that forward into the discussion we're having today about the masculine and the feminine and the inauthentic identity that we carry within us. We are holding on to the fake identity in place of the authentic identity. The real identity has been hidden and we've thrown away the other one, right? The real identity now is time for that identity to return. The spiritual, powerful queen or princess that you are needs to come back home. And it's time to throw away the false identity, the false labels that you put on yourselves, the false impression, the false information that was given to you, that was fed to you by people who may not have known better. Maybe they were fed the same wrong information. And so they fed that information to you, and you now took it in, absorbed it, and that has been your story ever since. Now it's time to let go and stick with the truth in the way that King Solomon would be proud of it. The wisdom of the divine, the source, the maker of everyone and everything. Fill your heart and soul with the meaning of this parable and how you can bring that into your life. Join me on November the on not November, sorry, on February the 28th. I will be hosting a fantastic 2-hour session with you and your beloved ones to delve further into how the wisdom that we've just touched on very briefly and how you can transform your existence, your experience, so that you can tap into all the tools that have waited for you for maybe your entire lifetime. So that 2026 can be the year where you make a dent, where you create a history, where you really go up the escalator to the penthouse instead of. I look forward to seeing you and serving you. Please share this message with your beloved lady friends, woman friends, mothers, grandmothers, nieces, co workers at work, even women that share the same religious affiliation with you or spiritual tradition with you, in the grocery store, your friends, in your cell phone, on your email list. We women need to come together to support each other instead of cheering each other down. That is the old masculine way. Now we need to embrace the more feminine, joyful way that makes everyone smile and be happy. And you will be happy too. Join me in saying these words: I have the power to heal my life. You have the power to heal your life. Together, we have the power to heal the world. Those are the words of my beloved teacher, Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah, who has gifted me the opportunity to share this wisdom with you. And I will share a whole lot more when we meet on the 28th. Look for the brief love letter that I posted either above or below, depending on what gadget, what cell phone type you're using, electronic device you're using to access this webcast. Look for that and read the love letter from my heart and soul to you. Look forward to seeing you soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you. It's coming to a close.